Hello and welcome to the Fulhamish quick take after Fulham's 2-1 victory over Arsenal at Craven Cottage. What a way to round out 2023. Finally, Fulham get their scalp. We've been waiting a season and a half, and if you exclude Chelsea, who are no longer a scalp, this is a proper one. What a performance from everyone. What a way to bounce back from 3 defeats in a row. What a way to keep the bottom 3 at a nice arm's length. Such a relief after that. I must admit, I had a funny feeling that we might perform well today, but I didn't see a win coming. I'd have bitten your hand off for a draw. To get all 3 points is just incredible, and I'll get a bit more into the kind of the context of the win, but wow, an amazing afternoon, amazing atmosphere at the cottage, and to be honest, it didn't look like it was going to be our day after 3 or 4 minutes. I can't remember exactly when the goal came. It certainly felt like it was in the first 5 minutes when Saka scored. It was a bit of an unfortunate series of events, really. Castagna does amazingly well to get a cross in from the byline, and he actually then falls into kind of where the Arsenal fans were and goes straight to David Raya, and then Arsenal on the counter-attack. I actually thought we did okay in that moment to kind of, okay, right, Castagna's out of play, but João filled in, and a couple other players kind of came back, but I think you saw that why João Pellegrini is not a right back. You allow Martinelli to cut in like that, and we're always in danger. In the stand, thought it was going to be a clear offside against Bukayo Saka. Even the way he scored it, he almost like sheepishly celebrated at first, I think expecting the flag to go up, and then it never did. I thought VAR might save us. It didn't. And yeah, you look back on the replay and Tosin plays him onside. So disaster of a start. And we've talked a lot about Fulham's lack of ability from 1-0 down this year. I mean, we've got a point or two maybe from losing positions, but we certainly haven't won a game from behind this year. And in recent games, when we've kind of gone 1 down, we've looked horrendous. But actually, I feel like it gave us a bit of breathing space. Arsenal, I thought would have at that point like gone and killed the game. I think Arsenal get a second straight after that. There's no way we're coming back from that. But they allowed Fulham to just get into the game and get a foothold and get a foot on the ball and have a bit of possession. And actually, you kind of get a sense that the goal was coming. We had a few moves. Jimenez had a good chance. Robertson did well to find him. We were working the ball well down the left and down both flanks, really. We were just looking comfortable, more and more comfortable on the ball. And I mean, the equalizer is brilliant. Bassi, so strong. I think for me, he was man of the match today, Calvin Bassi, although I think Jimenez runs him close, but he was just everywhere in the middle of the park today. And it's him that wins the tackle. And we get it out to Kearney brilliantly down the left. What a ball in. He just fizzes it low and hard. And Jimenez, it's not an easy finish. It's not an easy finish at all, but he does it with aplomb. His confidence is so sky high, and we really missed him. And it feels mad that we missed him so much. And as you know, I've said it a few times, if you'd have said 6 weeks ago that Raul Jimenez would be the difference maker, we'd have all laughed. But we know by now that we are seeing a little bit of the Raul of old, and we are blessed to have him. And the way that he's able to link our entire structure together up front, and this is no disrespect to Rodrigo Muniz, who tried hard, who maybe there is a striker there, but he does not link our play like Raul does. And also Willian back as well, who he's just so effortless and cool. And his combination with Kearney down the left is at the times just imperious. It's like an old Martian best sometimes, the way that they just pass the ball to each other and one-touch football, and the touch is so clean. It was lovely to have Willian back today. And really from 1-1 again, like Fulham then had a base to build on. It was like, okay, right, we've made up for a bad start or a bad moment, really. At no point did Arsenal actually ever really gain the ascendancy again. I think we were the slightly better side until half-time, although like Arsenal had a chance. I think Martinelli missed a good one. And then second half, once again, we just looked like the team more likely to do something. And the goal, it's Bobby on the spot. He takes it really well. I mean, it's obviously an Arsenal defensive mix-up. I think if you're an Arsenal fan watching this, quite clearly you're going to be frustrated with with your defence there. Just get rid of it. Like, it's so messy. But Bobby just reacts quickest, and a brilliant moment. And then from there, it's one of those where I was thinking, have we scored a bit early here? You've given Arsenal half an hour to find a response, and straight away Arsenal went up the other end of the pitch and were piling on the pressure. But actually, after that kind of first couple of minutes where I thought, oh no, this is going to be a long slog, Fulham dealt with Arsenal's pressure so well. We kept basically killing them on the counter, and we should have punished them. There was several chances that we had to go and make it 3-1. The closest that we came to getting the third was Andreas Pereira hitting the bar. Brilliant free kick. How many times does that man want to hit the bar without scoring a free kick? His dead ball ability is amazing. If he could just get it a few inches lower, I mean, he'd be absolutely lethal from set plays. But actually, there was a few other chances as well for Fulham to kind of wrap up the game. We didn't quite take it, and I was just worried that in added time, the way that this Arsenal team's been playing this season, they've got good mentality. They've got a lot of late goals, as far as I can tell anyone. But we just never really gave them a sniff. And I think that after Saka's goal, there was only one Arsenal shot on target, and that was a tame one at Leno. We really kept them at arm's bay today. And yes, they had a lot of the ball, and Odegaard looked dangerous, and certainly you can understand why this Arsenal team is where it is, but we didn't really give them too much of a sniff. And once again, I think our defence looked good again. We've conceded 8 goals without reply in the last 3 matches. And I think after Forest and West Ham, we thought, okay, maybe this is a brilliant new defence with Bassi and Tosin. And it kind of has gone awry, really, in recent matches where we've looked so weak defensively. But once again, we had something to play for, and we looked pretty impenetrable. Other than the first 5 minutes and the error that happened, we just looked like we weren't ever too worried. And that's, why I think we were able to see it over the line. We've had so many nearly moments since coming back up to the Prem where we've pushed top teams all the way, but just not got it over the line. We've had so many late defeats. But today just felt different. Felt like Fulham were going to make it. And of course it was tense and nervous, but the relief at the full-time whistle when it was the win. I mean, it was magical scenes at the Cottage today. And there's been a lot of complaints about the atmosphere, and it hasn't been great at times this year. And part of that is the amount of tourists, and there were a lot today. The amount of half and half scarves I saw. It's not like it was full of Fulham fans today, but still, the Cottage in those moments can still be an absolute rocking place. And it was today. And it was an amazing atmosphere at the final whistle. The players lapped it up. The manager lapped it up. And they deserve it, really. It's been a tough few games, kind of after the high of Everton and getting through to the Carabao semis. I think it was such a bump back to earth to lose those 3, particularly the Burnley game. That really did sting, but massive. And when you look at the context of the win as well for Fulham, look, I'm sure Arsenal fans will be thinking, yeah, you might have just cost us the title. And maybe we did, but from a Fulham perspective, we needed that win. We needed that win because everyone else below us was just getting a little bit close for comfort. It was 6 points. Luton had a game in hand. Still do have a game in hand. And you were just wondering, like, God, if we lose this, and then you've got to play Chelsea next, and then you've got a long time before a game against Everton. It was just starting to look really messy, I think, if we lost today. But once again, a bit of breathing space. And I think when you look at now what the next games are, 2 cup games to come up. You've got Rotherham in the cup, and then you've obviously got that massive game, the semi-final first leg against Liverpool. I think that today's result is massively important for that Liverpool game in 2 ways. First of all, the breathing room. It's not a big black cloud hanging over Fulham now that, wow, okay, the bottom 3 are catching up on us. And actually, we need to win the next game because otherwise we're going to get dragged into it. Look, we're not safe by any stretch. We still need to get a few more wins this season before we can even half consider ourselves safe. But it just gives you that breathing room to actually concentrate on the cup. We're probably okay in the league for now. And second of all, I think it's getting a scalp. It's proving that, okay, well, if you can beat Arsenal, you can beat Liverpool. I'm not saying that we will. It's still going to be difficult. But if you can win a game like this, why can't you push Liverpool all the way? Because you've proven it today that you're clearly more than good enough. When we have most of our best players fit, as we did today, we're a match for anyone. And finally, that monkey is off our back that we can't beat top teams. Proved it today. We can. Job done. And really exciting now, going into 2024. Big cup games to come. Big game at Stamford Bridge. The next few weeks is going to be really, really exciting. There's some history-defining games for this football club, and we've set ourselves up nicely. So great win today. Would love to hear what you think of the match. Let me know in the comments who you thought your man of the match was, what impressed you most about today's win. Love to hear from you in the comments. I'll get back to a few of you. And there'll be a podcast on New Year's Day with much more reflection on everything that's happened. Before I finish, I just want to say big shout out to Jack Kelly. Me and him were going to record this quick take together at a pub just after the game, and then the little device that we used to record the audio didn't work, which meant that I had to come home and record this because I didn't have any way of recording the quick take. And poor old Jack came for a pint and came to record the quick take, and we couldn't do it. So my apologies again, Jack. But he took it in good spirits. He was in a good mood, obviously, because Fulham won. Jack and Joe show will be back later this week as well, and no doubt they'll be pretty happy too. So thank you for watching today. A huge 3 points for Fulham, and Happy New Year. Come on, you Whites.